Hey guys, Anthony from SCO Fiscal here, and I'm here to go over a process that departments can use to reclassify journals that were created by SCO interfaces. For this video, I've selected a real catch-up journal from Fiscal Production, and I'll be referencing the values that the department recorded for my reclassification. So here is the original 8-page SCO JE. Previously, departments had to key in each and every line for catch-up journals, but with the new SCO Legacy Transactions interface, the controller's level transactions will be interfaced for you. This will happen the same night that the transactions post in SCO Legacy, helping to keep Fiscal up to date and in sync with SCO Legacy. Here's the GL journal, which has been created by running the legacy data through the SCO Legacy Transaction interface. So these transactions will have a reason for request with SCO Transaction Interface, and the source will be 108, which is short for the interface ID GL108. Going to the Lines tab, we can see that there were 360 total lines, half of which are balancing pending cash lines. The total debits and credits each are $7,151.04. Throughout the rest of this video, I want you to keep those totals in mind because we're going to refer back in order to double check our work throughout the video. Now what we're going to do is export all of the lines of this journal to Excel. So first we'll update the line field with the total line count, and then we'll click on the last row button to show all lines. And now that that's done, we'll go ahead and click on this Download Lines Table to Excel button. Okay, so here's an Excel sheet that I've gone ahead and prepared for this video. So I've hidden some of the columns that we're not going to use, and you can see that I've also highlighted some columns of interest, and I'll get to those in a minute. But first, I want to draw your attention to the line count. So if I go to the end of the spreadsheet, I can see that all 360 lines of the GL journal were exported successfully. And now let's look at the reference and transaction description. The reference field is populated with the document number, which ties to the original SCO JE. And then the transaction description field is populated with the line level transaction description, again, from the SCO JE. Okay. Now, if we look at the columns that are highlighted in yellow, these are the values that must not be touched in your reclassification. So that's the business unit, the appropriate ref, the fund, the E&Y, the amount, and the budget date. Now highlighted in blue are the account and program, which departments may reclassify to a lower level of detail if needed. However, the roll-up values must tie to the original SCO controller's value. Now what we're going to do is we're going to capture just the distribution lines, which we're going to need for the reclassification. So I'm going to enable a filter, and I'm going to filter out the pending cash lines. And then I'm going to copy all of these distribution lines into a new tab for us to work in. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to renumber the lines by just doing 1 and 2 in the first two. And then I'm going to use Excel's autofill feature to populate the rest of the lines. If I go to the end, I can see that I captured all 180 of the distribution lines. Now if I get the total of the amount, I can see that the total debits matches the total debits from the GL journal. Now the first value that I'm going to reclassify is the account. The department recorded this under 515900 for all 180 lines. So I'm just going to fill out the value and then copy it all the way down. Similarly, the department used the same value for the alternate account for all lines of this journal. So that again can be copied all the way down. And then for the project, the department used the same value for 177 out of 180 lines. So again, I'm just going to copy this all the way down. And then later, the department could go back and change or update just those 3 specific values that need to be updated. And then when I was looking at the reporting structure, I noticed that the department has the reporting structure set up in a very systematic way, which we're able to leverage to make this reclassification very easy. So, for example, for the first line, the department used this reporting structure. So that's the business unit, followed by a 0, followed by these 3 numbers from the description column. So what I'm going to do is just isolate those 3 numbers from the description column. First, I'm going to take the rightmost characters with this formula. Okay, and then out of those, we only need the first 3. So I'm going to combine that with this formula. And then now we're just going to stick the 37900 in front. And then again, we can use the autofill feature to copy this all the way down. And then I'm just going to copy all those values and do a values paste to replace the formulas with the actual values. And now we're left with just one field that needs to be reclassified, which is activity. So we're not so lucky with this one. There is a bit of manual key entry here. So I'll just go ahead and update a few of these values. And then I'm going to save a bit of time. I've gone ahead off screen and I've filled out the rest of this, and I'll just go ahead and copy paste that now. Okay. So now we have all of the values, all the reclassified values. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the original tab and recopy all of the distribution lines. Okay, now that I've copied all of the distribution lines again from the first tab, I'm going to paste this into our working tab and update the line numbers. If I go to the end of the document, I can see that the total line count now matches the original total line count of the GL journal. Okay, now going back to line 181, which is where the default values begin. And by the way, these default values, again, they really stand out. So if you need to check whether or not you're current with your reclassification, you can always use whatever tools or queries your department uses normally to check the balances in these default accounts. Now I'm just going to multiply the amounts by -1, use autofill tool to copy this all the way down, and then do a values paste to update the amounts. Okay. And now if I check the amounts, the total of the amounts column, I can see that debits match credits. The entire journal sums to 0. And we checked the total debits before, so we know that the amounts all match the original GL journal. Okay, so now we have all the values we need for our reclassification journal as a whole. And If you so choose, you can go ahead and copy paste all these values into a GL journal online. Or if your department uses the spreadsheet journal upload, you can go ahead and use that. If you need more information on how to use spreadsheet journal upload, please refer to jobaid fiscal.001. And now I'm just going to copy paste one column into the spreadsheet journal upload template. Remember to use values paste. Whether you enter the Reclass journal online or use spreadsheet journal upload, please remember to indicate in the reason for request field that this is a reclassification of a GL 108 journal and include a reference to the original GL journal. As we're wrapping up this video, I did want to mention that we are working to minimize the amount of reclassification that departments need to do. However, journals created by the SCO Legacy Transactions interface are subject to the same departmental and statewide combo edits that all GL journals have to follow, and default values such as 5390-950 for D-type accounts or SCO 999 for the departmental chart fields have to be used, since there isn't enough information coming from Legacy for the interfaces to post at the lower level. Anyway, today we've gone over a process to streamline reclassification of larger journals and also reconcile along the way using the check numbers that I mentioned. Links to job aids will be included in the YouTube description. I hope this video was helpful and that you can apply some of the concepts I've demonstrated to make your lives a little easier. Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your day.